For that I have to write Carl's dinner again. What shall I do? Right here or right there? Ah, now it happens. I wish everyone who's visiting my channel again today a wonderful new day. Greetings to the girls, hello to the boys. I set off from Meroshidia yesterday into the night and covered about 40 kilometers, 15 or 20 of which were on dirt tracks at most, and then found another absolutely lovely campsite somewhere in the Algerian desert. Today I'm heading further south. There is my packed mule Azuro, which I serviced and maintained yesterday. You can probably see it back there anyway, a little cottage, and the landowner came to visit me after all. We had a bit of a natter and he kindly brought quarter-liter of ice cubes, literally deepest frozen water, so that I definitely don't overheat. Now I'm finally ready to swing myself in the saddle and continue my journey at 9:30. And not even 100 meters later, sand. How awesome! That's how it can start. There's a water source. I actually think I need to go past on the right, but I just want to document it. How cool is that? Comes from somewhere. It carry on there, and then up ahead there's a little dog and a few cows. Well, they don't exactly need green fields. I mean, it's a bit green there. The water just carries on flowing nicely. I hope I don't sink the moped in the mud now, but I'm going to risk the water crossing. Yeah, done it. What a luck. Right. Oh, there's a deeper hole there. We just steer around that back on the track quite elegantly. That was about 40-45 kilometers from today's starting point. I actually managed an average speed of 46.4 kilometers per hour. Not that bad off-road. The experienced off-road riders and travelers probably know that anyway. Perhaps they'd like to confirm it or just drop a comment on what sort of average speed they manage off-road. I'm rolling through there again. So you are back to those lovely braking hills, which aren't a problem with the Super Fork. There's a little bit more village life there. I have to go straight through anywhere roundabout. I've still got water. Probably still that lump of ice, which might have thawed a bit. But that's okay. That was the town or village, and I hope I'll soon head down from the grey stripe into the beige sandy part. That now corresponds pretty much exactly to my route of 100 kilometers per color. I've got 96 on the speedometer now, but it took me about 10 kilometers to reset it to zero, my speedo. Although trip meter. So it was 106. There is the petrol station. I thought I won't need fuel for a long time yet. Now we continue along the yellow line on the right, on the Garmin, or rather along the pinkish pink line on the phone. In night mode, you can actually see the line quite clearly on the phone, unless of course the sunlight is still hitting it directly from behind. Nice color, although as I've noticed, I'd prefer yellow or my favorite light blue. Pink is looking pretty good now too. A moment ago it was purple, it was very similar to black. I'm now tackling the next 100 and hope they go down as easily as the last 100. And now just to see the other side of this area, so to speak, I reckon it's something like copper mining or whatever. That's why it's so oxided. It's a shame if it's just left to oxide these even bigger stones. But I took it. And if there were no tomorrow. It really is a rough bit of landscape. Into the dry wadi. I don't know when water comes through here. There is actually one. Watch out for the water crossing, scary. Joking aside, it's going well. In between, there's a bit of something unnatural laying around everywhere. That's just how it is, unfortunately. Sandy, sit, steer, accelerate, riding. So, we've managed that. Are we going around in circles now? I hope not. Still from the back, unbelievable. If I remember correctly, I should now be traveling parallel between two mountain chains. So a mountain chain on my left and a mountain chain on my right. I'll soon find out if that's actually the case and if I'm already where I think I am. My marked route has been completely washed out. Now I'm heading back. I know there were a few parallel paths there anyway. And instead, we are now seeing this turquoise, copper, rust, tarnished, earthy, metallic copper green again, whatever it is. It just looks pretty cool. I hope I find paths soon, because zigzagging around isn't much fun either. Yeah, the bit about the valley basin is correct, at least for now. However, this two-track path soon turned into more of a goat trample track. Now I'm standing here basically in this dry riverbed further down behind the tree. I went looking for a path. There's one up there. but that large brown field is extremely steep, not quite vertical, but it's not feasible to ride on sensibly. I've already tackled enough tricky sections. This one's a no-go for me. And now chugging through this vast stone desert, these piles of rocks, is a classic to get some extra fitness training, as you have to pick the moped up again and again because there is little to no track there. Actually, I've spotted a path back there that looks easy to follow, but getting there is another matter. In principle, I know from looking up routes that there are several paths leading in that direction anyway, and they didn't look too bad on Google Earth. But, well, the first one had been washed out. I could of course ride back, because the track actually continued straight on where I turned left, and then the lovely water dug a deep trench and the track was history. Or still is. That would be one way to get out of there now. Or I could ride back up over there. You can see the track in the background anyway. Or I could try to get out somewhere over there. Perhaps somehow up from down there. Although that doesn't look too promising either. I mean, it's not steep, but the stones are bigger than, I don't know, the Big Bertha. I almost think I found the path now over by the tree. Turn left, set indicator, it goes up quite nicely there. And there are 50 meters of rocks there. That's manageable, theoretically, without falling over. And up there too. And then I'll just keep more to the right than to the left for a change and hope I can find a reasonable decent path again. But even there, the path suddenly disappears, and I have to feel my way sideways through the stones again. If I'd spotted it sooner, I'd have gone left, but I was really at an angle. It's not that difficult, really, but I don't want to fall over. I really can't stand the tough of it. Once you're rolling, you can just let it roll over the stones. Their stomach up again. Done. Great. Here comes the next bit of rubbish. Well, or maybe over there. It's just a quiet bit of zigzagging. Getting on with it is taking ages. And now back towards the path. Well, now you know why you are suddenly only manage an average of 20 kilometers per hour. Now I need to see the path again. Basically, I was back on my line for a moment, but it's still tricky. I can see it. It's back there. Good, I've got it. That completely washed out obstacle, which I'm not riding into now, but it's flat down there, so you can get back up onto the track. That's what I will do. I have to assume that this sort of thing will happen another 20 times, and I have to go and check it out first every time before I ride into the predicament, literally. Then somehow turning around is even worse, more difficult. but this is basically not such a fun route to ride. I mean, it's fun, but all the time we've put in today, me and Azzurro, is all just disappearing again. There's that next impossible bit down the ride again. But of course, it's actually not much fun at all right now, because constantly turning around like that makes you absolutely prone to falling. Yes, there's Azzurro down there. Maybe you can see the path. It's just a bit less fun to get down there. There's another high edge there too, and straight ahead, there would actually be a path. I just have to ask myself. I'd have a good 100 kilometers as the crow flies. That will take ages. And the question is, how many more of these impassable ruts are there? And at what point will it become completely impossible and I'll have to turn back? It's just a bit of a thing now, because giving up, as we've already realized, isn't really my thing. But if there is no path, then you can't get right. I'm currently on my way up a small hill. It's lovely, mind you, but without the path, cross country, it really isn't fun anymore. I have a look around a bit more. You can still see the copper madness over there. So I've probably managed, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 kilometers, if that. Next descent there, that would be basically go down there, maneuver my way through somehow and come out the other side. Right, you can probably see it better now. I can easily roll that to the side. It certainly isn't very heavy. But there's also that nice path leading in. But it drops straight down another 1.52 meters straight away. So you really don't want to fall in there. And where's the next wadi? That makes it difficult to live. It's 100 kilometers as the crow flies, but perhaps 120 if you take the winding route. And if there are an obstacle like that one or that one before, every 50, 100, 300 meters, then at some point, halfway through, at that latest, I'll have to pitch my tent. Over there, Azzurro, you can see him clearly, he stands out a bit. I take a moment to reflect, and perhaps I actually want to lock another man overboard. Incident there. I'm heading out now, back again. I've checked that was 4 kilometers as the crow flies, which felt like 17 hours or longer. That makes no sense. There might be 3 more passages like that, which are barely passable, and then there's nothing else. But it could be that things like that keep coming up all the time. You'd need an illegal drone now, because drones are not allowed. It just isn't, I can't change it. Down there, it's still great, but opposite, it's visually a vertical wall to me. That can only mean full throttle. Okay, it's getting a bit less steep. Ah, okay. The motor's pushing me up without anything. Yeah, it was the better decision. It is a rocky area, never ending. It takes a lot of power to roll along there. Nothing, no progress, makes no fun. There's another, the next one. I hope we can get through. Whoa, that's a bit more tricky than others. That's the way up, because it's too deep for the front wheel there. Get up. And that's that. On to the next obstacle. It might work down there. Ah, I reckon over there too. If this were a trials event, I'd be getting a massive penalty because my feet are on the ground the whole time. The brake light switch has just completely given up the ghost.
Naja.
Ui, I don't think I can go on any further there, I reckon. Right. The vent is coming too. Let's Azuro cool down for a bit, then we'll have to turn around there, or maybe we can get in there. I'll go and have a look. Go down there and come out other side. That should be doable, even without a brake light switch, without a working one. Hopefully no one's coming up front behind and causing a rear end collision. It doesn't look too good, cause I'll have virtually no side grip. That means I'll try it up there with a bit of directly, so with a more crossing angle. Shooting out of there now? Well, cheers. Oh dear, Gerald. What sort of route have you picked out there? Going up there would have been my plan. Something like letting the clutch snap. But whether that will work is written in the stars. Too much isn't good, too little isn't good either. It's been even flatter up there. For that I have to ride Carl's dinner again. What shall I do, right here or right there? And now it happens after all. And now you're witnessing it live. At least it's not laying flat. Not laying completely flat on this side. And I can't get my foot out at the moment because my lovely Michelin tire were having a go at me. There you go. I should have tried the other side, not carried on there. Right, I'll lift it up once. I hope that isn't too difficult. Otherwise, I'll just pitch the tent and call it a day. I'll just tick it off now. Then it's official, so to speak, and we've got 13 men overboard. Tried twice, it's not working. In the last few attempts, I've already done my back a bit and so on, and I'd rather unload it now before I try it 10 more times and still can't manage it. I'll carry that up there now, then I'll rescue Azuro and have a serious chat about why he's laid down there again. Oops, my glasses I need. Right, now it's probably sorted. First of all, Rutske back on the wheels, and secondly, easy cheesy ride out. Mind you, you have to mention what's up there, the bags, the two of them, and the tire. That's what other so-called lightweight motorbikes supposedly always have on them. Not in the form of luggage, mind you, but as standard original parts straight from the showroom. For me, that's the already extra luggage. So 165 kilo plus the tank plus luggage, you have to take it off every time, not just every third time. Hopefully we don't mess it up again. The plan was actually to be up there by now, somehow. Right, that's sorted for now. I think I'll fetch the luggage, I'm not riding there. Back on the bike. The bus actually goes left there, and I have to fight my way through that again, so. And I've already enjoyed that ice cold water I got from the farmer in the morning. I hope that's it for now, as for falling over. I've hit the dark grey, well, it's actually more of a light grey stripe again. Right, so theoretically, I have got 180 kilometers of tarmac and concrete ahead of me. I'll just have to tackle it now. It's a shame, it's a rather tricky over there, but I can't change. Let's wind down the 180. Essence, there it is, look at that. We fill up a bit just to be on the safe side, because who knows where's the next one. I mean, I know where one is, but I'm not sure exactly. Right, full is full. We have used exactly 10.54 liters. I don't know. I have to check how many kilometers. In any case, it's 10 more because I forgot to reset the counter at the last petrol station. Now he won't take the nozzle off for me, which is negative, but I'll hold it for that long then. Maybe he doesn't want any money either. When I'll ride off, I'll see anyway if he shoots after me. Let's have a look straight away. It should have been 248. No, it's not me who's had a breakdown. My motorbike mate somehow lost half of his chain. So we took a bolt from mine and filled it in at the back. We still had the tool to open the axle. Finally, he's given the chain a spray, so it's lubricated again. Well, the chain's really happy about that. Yeah, it's never seen oil before. Okay, good. And so we have carried out another repair on the road. And hopefully he's happy. Okay, I'm off. Fin. Okay, right. I'm loading all my tools back in now. Luckily we managed with just pliers and of course 13mm bolts. Then we've added something to get the 13mm open with the 14mm spanner, and he's happy. I think he's also happy that he can carry on. Backing up and off we go. Now that we've fixed the moped, he's all riding off. And now we are forming a convoy. I'll accompany him to make sure he gets there safely. There's always someone passing by anyway, but somehow the moped has just disappeared in the middle of nowhere. That's where I wanted to go, because that's exactly the sort of thing Azuro likes. But not today. I'm reporting from the sandstorm zone par excellence. It's my first ever sandstorm. Everything in the tent is completely covered in sand. My plan had actually been to spend a bit of time tinkering with the moped this evening to retire the motor's adventure. I'd started to open up the rear axle when the next moment the sandstorm began and it was impossible to carry on. I hope the tent will help clear the sand away, but it's all covered in it. It's really crazy. At least for someone who is not a Bedouin or some other desert dweller. Well, since I did a good deed today and helped the man get his moped running again, I ended up riding the last 50 kilometers with a passenger. They are people who want to go to Morocco and then somehow further north. I won't say any more about that for now. And as I said, I hope the wind doesn't pick me up and the tent and blow me away, leaving me somewhere. With that in mind, I wish you all a peaceful night if you are watching this in the evening, or simply a lovely rest of the day. And greetings to the girls, hello to the boys.